all over town. The last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Wellman Plumbing at 402-434-2400 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-434-2400.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next big opportunity? Constructors is hiring. We're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. We offer competitive wages, great benefits, brand new service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for our shop and multiple field technicians. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at constructorslincoln.com.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome in to the Fitness Fanatics. It is Sunday, January 12th. Exciting day for us at Farrell's. Yesterday, as we started our winter 10-week challenge, but it wasn't as exciting as last Sunday at about 3 o'clock. Harrison, let's hear it.
Good snap, good hold. The kick on the way by Santos, and it is good. The Bears Bears' losing streak comes to an end on the final play of the regular season as Chicago comes to Lambeau and upsets the Packers 24-22.
Oh, was that just wonderful?
I might have to play it again. I don't know if everyone in the studio heard it the first time around.
I mean, after last week where I was getting bombarded with Packer fans on the text line just getting after me. And you know what?
I was rooting for the Bears, honestly, because I did not want to have to look at your face if they missed that field goal.
My
or
face was pretty bad.
Or something. Like, I did not want to have to turn my head and look at your face again. So I said I considered it my charitable donation.
Well, and the Packers
today.
are playing today and the Bears are not,
Yeah.
you know, but
Ugh.
if you remember the one of the funniest lines you hear all season was Daryl Johnston when they had the ball at midfield with a minute left up by 2. And he said,
Yeah.
Bears fans all over the nation are wondering how they're going to screw this up. Remember that line?
Yeah, and then DJ Moore immediately after fumbles it off the screen pass.
Yes.
And I can't remember, was that a scoop and score, or did they get it all the way to the goal?
No, they had
fall on it, right?
They
there.
fell on it, and then they kicked the field goal.
That's
to take
right.
the lead.
Yeah. It was right on cue.
I'm just like, are you kidding me?
It was so funny. The announcer's like, I'm so sorry. He apologized. He's like, I didn't mean it like that soon.
Well, that's why I just wasn't going to be able to handle it if they lost again.
I mean,
have to live with you.
Yeah, at some point, people just have to feel sorry for me.
People have been feeling sorry for you. I've had a lot of people being like, how's Jeff doing after all the games this season?
Yeah, the DJ Moore fumble, I almost croaked right there. That was incredible. Like at that point in the game, like you're finally there. You're like, okay. And Caleb Williams, for whatever reason, like in the fourth quarter in his last drives, you're always like, okay, we'll get to field goal range at the very least. Like Williams been able to put together drives. You're like, we just can't turn it over. And that's exactly what we did. Right on cue with the announcers.
Yeah, just the next play.
It was the most uncanny. You see it all the time in like for basketball, they're shooting free throws and you'll see the jinx. That was the first time. It was like split second right after he said it. Uncanny.
Just literally the next play.
Yeah. But they found a way to pull it off.
I'm so upset. Yeah, and then it's just like, here comes the field goal again. And I was
what, 56
I mean,
yards?
Statistically, they had to, like, what would have been the odds that something like that would have happened? I've said that at the end of every Bears game.
Pretty good odds.
For a while. So.
And as we were watching the Ohio State game versus Texas, and you know, I'm just thinking as Ohio State's beating all these teams, I'm thinking, my gosh, Nebraska was just right there.
I know, I didn't hear you say that actually.
They were just, I mean,
but if Nebraska plays the same Ohio State team that's playing today, like we get boat raced.
Yeah, I know, but we're still right there. And then I was thinking yesterday, I was telling the kids, I was like, you know, we brought up the Ohio State game, and I was like, this is my football season. We lost to Ohio State Saturday, game we should have won, and then the next day the Bears lose on a Hail Mary to Washington.
Yeah, that's
my weekend.
That was the start.
That was when I was questioning my fandom, like why I even watch and cheer, and because it's just not fun. But then you cheer for a moment, like Sunday, when you just like, oh, this feels so good.
Finally.
Or when we beat Iowa 2 years ago. It's just like, oh, this is just a great feeling.
Yeah, that's sports for you, though. Like, it's not very many people win it, but you're always chasing that high.
It's like fishing, you know?
Or golf,
it's always
right?
the one that got away, but then you reel in that one and you're
chasing it forever.
back in it. Yep.
Or golf.
Yeah, golf's the one where as soon as, like, you can, you're fine playing golf. I always say, like, you can play 9 holes, 9 holes of golf, and, like, you won't become addicted. You become addicted when you have that first good swing.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes off, and you're like, ooh, that felt good. And you see the ball, and you're like, that felt, I don't know what that was, but that was it right there. And then you're just chasing that forever. And then,
forever.
Then you're hooked. Until you have that, like, shot, you're probably fine.
Oh, gosh. So, yeah. Well, thanks for playing that clip. It was great. It was fun to relive it.
I feel like there was some behind the scenes I didn't know about happening.
It's much better. Last time I was cutting clips up for the Chicago Bears, it was the Commanders Hail Mary
for DP.
Yeah.
We had like 5 other producers in here at the time.
Could've done
That seemed
it.
like a job for me.
Yep.
He messages you personally.
Yeah.
Hey, can you take care of this for me?
And while you're at it, why don't you get the Washington Commanders marching fight song as well? We'll play that after.
Hey, that's what the boss can do, right?
And that was the same weekend he came out of the portal. That was a brutal weekend. Oh.
But we're happy for DP because his Washington team plays today.
And Daniels is fun to watch.
Yeah, he is.
I hate the Commanders now. I got a rivalry with them just because of that game. But
yeah,
we're going to have that a lot. It's going to be Daniels versus Williams. Anytime. It's such a rare matchup, though. I don't know when we'll see that.
Yeah, I mean, well, they'll be playing in the playoffs every year. I saw a little stat this morning as I was scrolling through Facebook that the Bears have won 1 playoff game since 2010. And it was in 2010.
What's funnier, the Steelers winning 1 playoff game since 2010 as well?
Yeah, that's worse.
1-18.
That's worse,
right?
because
That's worse because they get there.
Yeah,
they just can't.
That's worse. And
wrap
we
it
don't.
up.
We're just never there.
Yeah, like at least
you're not getting the benefits. At least the Bears were getting the draft benefits.
Yeah, and our hopes were extinguished. Good, it was like mercifully.
Yes.
The Steelers are, it's kind of mean at this point to have their hopes up. It's kind of like what the Knicks are in the NBA. It's like, and the Jets are in the NFL. It's like, just stop. It'll never happen.
Well, I'll tell you, if the Steeler fans don't want Mike Tomlin around, we'll clear space out for him in Chicago, and he can come be our coach. I'll take winning seasons every year for 20 years. We've only had like 4 winning seasons in 20 years.
Yeah,
and we're not picky.
Won't happen though. Steelers won't do anything. Steelers will absolutely refuse. I don't know if you'd really want that Mike Tomlin though. Not because he's a bad coach, but we need an offense.
No, that's true. That's true.
And we'll be good defense, but that's kind of been the one thing for the Bears that have at least been somewhat consistent, as the defense has been okay and it hasn't done anything for us.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the sports talk. Well, we might talk a little. Okay. So
we have breaking news
before we get to our Farrell stuff. And coming up, my sister will be joining us from Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And you guys won't believe this, Harrison. She's a diehard Packers fan.
Should we play the audio again?
Maybe. We might have to play it just for her to listen.
We'll just make that today's rejoin.
Yep, every time. Instead of our music, that's the rejoin. Yeah, that'd be a great way to intro.
Playing today, and you're not.
I know.
So
yes.
Well, we have really a bye hurt week. That much.
Yeah, you guys got the Eagles, so you might as well just chalk it up already.
We'll see.
Better to be there than not be there.
Well,
it's a good experience for the young team of the Packers. That
it is
the playoffs.
Good experience, and I was giving them too much credit. Like last year, it's like, well, they did, shock everybody. I was like, wait, is it the Cowboys? I did forget it was the Cowboys that blew that. Well, I don't even think they blew a lead. I think the Packers won that one just 40 to. I can't remember the final score. It was a blowout though, nonetheless. But yeah, I think the Eagles got you today.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay, so what's your breaking news? You want to go over?
You're talking about how your sister's on the show today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was all you were just saying. She's a diehard Packers fan. Well, she's also, you guys went to high school together.
Yep.
So we get to get some more behind the scenes of your high school career. But I found out brand new information. So if you're a regular listener, you know that Jeff famously, what were you, a senior in high school or junior?
Well, it would have been the end of my junior season. It's junior, not season.
The summer of your senior year.
Yes. So summer of 1995.
Jeff went to the Nebraska football camp. We all know this story, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, basically, not as a prospect.
Yep, never played a down of organized football
in my life. You hadn't even
life.
Played football yet? So you played football your senior year.
Yep.
But you hadn't even played football.
Nope.
Like you never even wore pads or anything.
Never put shoulder pads on before.
Did you have to put shoulder pads?
Wait, so the camp was the first time you put on?
See?
Did you because it's kind of a lot of straps and belts. Were you confused?
Did you have to wear pads?
Oh yeah, we had shoulder pads.
Okay.
They gotta help you get dressed the first time around.
Story.
No, I figured it out.
So much better. Okay, so I learned brand new information because Jeff talked about last week about how they were watching Rudy and Band and they started chanting Essink. And part of what you said was like, because I was a big Husker fan and everybody knew, and everyone knew I was going to this Husker camp. And on the way home from the show last week, I was like, well, why did you tell people at your school you were going to this camp? Like you could have just gone and you could have just been a fan. You didn't have to tell people. Like you're kind of bringing it on yourself. The brand new information that I found out, the reason it wouldn't have mattered because Jeff had classmates that went to that camp for real. Like real football players that were really going that he went to school with.
What those guys think?
It's about 5 of them.
were they hyped that you were joining them, or
I don't know if they were hyped.
Doesn't that add another layer to this story now?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Right. Because I was like, why didn't you just not tell people? It's not like social media nowadays where you're going to be putting it on the gram, on your stories or Snapchat. Oh, I'm at the you could have just gone. No one needed to know. And then I find out that there were like actual real football players, like not Husker fans, but they were going because they wanted the experience and the whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of like the best players on our team that are going to be seniors. And me, who never done anything. So you can see the extent.
The
I'm trying to
level
think of like if that's sicko behavior back in that day, or if everyone was like that because Husker football was that good.
Yeah, now a long time ago, this was 1995, right?
Well, yeah, it was a sought after environment to be in, even if you weren't a Husker fan.
Yeah, they'd let any schmo in there.
Obviously.
Like I don't think if Ben wanted to go to the Husker football camp, the Friday Night Lights camp, our son who's never like they let him in, right?
No.
Any person could go.
But still, they were like actual football players and they were going not as fans, but as like football players wanting to get experience.
They were, and in Harrison, something else I thought about this morning, which I'm gonna have to ask my sister about, is she was in band with me and she was probably chanting Essing too, along with all of her
we'll find out.
Her crony classmates.
We'll find out.
So yeah, that's something I'll have to ask her because she played the French horn, and this wasn't marching band season, and she was in color guard for marching band. So she may have been in the band room when the Essing chant started to break out, and technically she probably participated.
So technically, Andrea and Jeff are step siblings. So Andrea didn't have the same last name. So
but everybody knew we were.
They knew that you guys were, brother and sister. But like it was probably less embarrassing for her because it's not like they were chanting her name.
No.
Too. So
she probably was participating. I'm sure.
We'll find out.
You know, he's blended in.
But I cannot believe that I never knew that of all the years that you went and they didn't ride together, which is also funny. But Jeff says that they followed Jeff there, right?
Yep. Yep, I knew where I was going, right to Memorial Stadium. I was 16, driving over there.
Which is also crazy.
Drove my 82 Monte Carlo from Des Moines to Lincoln.
And your dad was just like, bye.
Yeah, get out. I mean,
drive through Omaha. Like,
yep, and we're worried about our kids driving to Omaha with a phone and navigations. I didn't have anything. So.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that. And I think that adds, like you said, I don't know which.
You're like an ironic Dos Equis commercial.
Like the lack of self-awareness.
Yeah.
I think
pretty amazing.
Like the most interesting man in the world, but not in the ways that you would consider. I think is what I mean by that.
I think that story of me going to that camp is
it just keeps getting better.
One of the best stories that could ever be on the ticket.
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
I mean,
if you got your name chanted at Memorial Stadium.
Layered.
Well, it wasn't chanted at Memorial Stadium.
Oh, I thought it happened at.
No, that was in band because they were watching Rudy, and so as they were chanting Rudy on the show movie, they were chanting Essing in.
Yeah, I brought a lot of this on myself because my favorite player was Baron Miles, right? And Nebraska just won the championship. They just won the championship in my junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And there was only 2 other legit Nebraska fans in my school.
Which feels like a lot, actually.
And one of them was Andrea's friend.
I didn't know any before I met you.
Yeah. And then when I was a senior, here come the starter jackets, right? Oh, everybody's wearing Husker starter jackets for fair weather fans. They were. But earlier, I'd get ears of corn put in my locker.
That you brought on yourself.
Then I brought
a little bit.
Brought on myself because I was yapping my mouth, running my mouth,
Yeah.
So then people call me Baron Miles also because I wore number 14.
I also don't think you fully understand Jeff's body composition at this time too, because
it was 135 pounds.
I was gonna say
I was pencil neck.
Yeah,
like the tiniest little wind could just knock your head right off your shoulders. I feel like you were little.
I was.
Put me in, coach.
But I have a lot of memories from that day.
Yeah.
Like I remember meeting Tom Osborne. Like that's why I went. I'm like, hey,
we know.
pay $150. I get to meet players and coaches, and
It is one of those things that's like totally worth it, but it is like
it's like a fantasy camp.
But it wasn't
for me.
It wasn't though.
Cool.
It was.
It's a cool experience. Strange flex.
I wonder how soon after that it became more of a invitation only.
Maybe it may have been invitation after Coach Osborne looked at my testing card.
Yeah. Like, how'd this guy get in here? This kid.
And I handed it to him and he's looking at it.
What position do you play?
And he's looking at my 40 time and he's asked what position on it. Wide receiver, coach. There is 135 pounds, 5'10".
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Clocking at?
I don't remember. It wasn't good though. I really wish I would have kept all that stuff because I had a form that was filled out by Coach Brown.
It's not in that binder,
and
that photo album.
And Coach Darlington.
Yeah, I've been to those camps. They give you the little post camp
Yep.
review sheet on what you're good at, what you need to work on.
Yep.
Mine were always brutal. Mine were like one of the top qualities, which is the quality you never really want to see to be like the highlight. Is like it's always great when you don't have to ask a player to work hard. And I'm like, that's great, but when that's like the starting point, like that's the cherry on top. I'm like, all right. So
team player.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those, or like when you see like the
great
white
for morale.
NBA player, like they'll say deceptively athletic, and I'm like, what are we saying here?
Deceptively athletic.
I don't even think I got a deceptively athletic.
No.
I got the needs to gain weight.
Obviously unathletic.
Needs to learn how to catch the ball.
I would like to have the behind the scenes coaches notes of like, has this kid ever worn a helmet?
No. That's the first time I put a helmet on was there at that camp. But you know what? Hey, I caught a touchdown pass on the field at Memorial Stadium in a
route
in a scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's better than that.
Was it something that like everyone caught a
No, it
pass?
wasn't like a second grade basketball game where everybody gets to score. I was legit caught a touchdown.
Was it like the third try?
No. Okay. I legit caught a touchdown.
I just need to ask more questions now, apparently, because I can't believe I'm still finding out brand new information.
And I really
25 years
I really wish I could get like a roster of like who was at the camp.
That would be cool.
Because there was a guy on our team that I know for a fact he was an offensive lineman and he was going to Michigan State. Like, so I would have loved to know, who was this guy? Yeah. And then there were some guys that were wearing all this Buffs gear, Colorado. I'm just like, and me, I'm there as a fan, right? I'm like, what the heck are you wearing Colorado Buffalo do-rag for? Go stay in Boulder. That's what I was thinking. But that was me as a fan.
Yes.
But I'll tell you one story though. I did.
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Osborne was doing a speech for Fellowship of Christian Athletes back then. And so I could have went to that. I sat through one where he talked before to all the campers, but I could have went to his Fellowship of Christian Athletes speech, but I opted not to go so I could stay in my dorm and watch the game, NBA Finals, Houston, Orlando Magic.
Oh,
so that was a
little basketball time.
No, that was
Shaq Magic.
Shaq,
oh yeah,
and
right.
Penny Hardaway and Nick Anderson, who missed a couple of free throws. Yeah,
I always forget the Magic Shaq version.
Yeah, that Shaq team beat Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that was
in the playoffs. Yeah,
so it was a legitimate.
Yeah, they were good.
It was a legitimate team. Yes. Well, now we just wasted the whole first segment.
I know. I thought that was shocking new information that I had never heard before.
No, that's incredible. You have information. That is a lot of depth. The fact that
really
there was 5 dudes that were going
for real
for different reasons completely than you. You're going as a fan, and then you lead the convoy up there.
I truly picture. So you've seen Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Whenever he's trying to get all those, looking at all the rings, and he goes to one of the like signings. So he goes to where like one of the players are signing autographs. And so he goes undercover as like a pimply teenager.
That was me.
That was Jeff. 100%. When I picture you on the field, I picture that version of Ace Ventura.
Oh, I was on that field. I get out there so early and just be like, just sit there at midfield and be like,
this is so funny being out there as a fan. It's like seeing like Colorado gear out there.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Mad.
so mad at him.
It was, I mean, think about it though. Like, if you're 16-year-old, I mean, now
yeah, that's
have.
what they have their fan days.
I went to the Sioux Falls football camp though, because that's kind of where my ballpark was.
Yeah.
Right.
Sioux Falls. I don't.
But you actually
They probably
played
weren't even-
football.
Yeah, true. I also played football.
You were a
at the
football
time.
player.
I don't
Jeff
know.
was not.
But I also want to. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, it would be if the Huskers were winning
Well,
like that in
sure.
the '90s. Like, and if I was around the area, it'd be awesome.
Like, I went and
Go see
lifted. I
Memorial
went and
Stadium.
lifted in the weight room.
Oh my gosh.
And I remember, this is a funny story. I've told Aaron Davis. I might have been lifting with Aaron Davis back then.
You might have been.
You probably
mean,
were.
Yeah.
He could have been there. I could have been there. But I remember
true.
specifically, this is how pathetic I was.
We know. You don't even have to tell the story.
I remember specifically talking to Jay Sims back then.
Wow.
And he was going into the weight room. I was going out. And I specifically remember asking if he thought if I could get some autographs.
Oh, I know this story.
From Tommy Frazier and Lawrence Phillips, right? And he's like, they won't even give me their autograph. That's what Jay Sims told me.
Great answer.
So Jay Sims,
Yeah.
if you're out there listening, that was me from 1995. the skinny little white kid from Waukee, Iowa that couldn't bench press the bar was at the football camp.
Please tell me
asking-
that's not true.
No, I could
Surely-
bench press the bar.
Okay. I was
I think the bar was like, what, 35 pounds?
45.
Well, it
45.
depends.
Yeah.
If you had a bar that you couldn't bench and then they gave you another bar and then you suddenly could bench it, that means they dropped you down to the 35 pound bar.
I could bench the bar and throw a couple, not
Something's on there.
plates on there, but smaller ones.
Oh my gosh.
Heck, I mean,
You go to gyms today, like, I know I'm so deceptive about it. I would be like looking at somebody's squat, like, oh my Lord, how many plates they got on there? And then I look at the number. I'm like, wait, why?
Why is the
They're 10 pounds.
Why are they
so
gigantic
big?
there's
plates?
20 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't,
vanity plates?
yeah, that's a good word.
Right.
For it.
Yeah.
Is that,
I don't know. I just made that
Oh,
up, but
boy.
that's
It
probably
works.
what it is. Yeah. All right, let's go to break.
Well, we've lost all time to talk about Farrell's and the 10-week challenge.
That's okay. We'll talk about it at the end.
All right. So hopefully my sister's around and she's joined the stream because I can't really see. But all right, we'll be back. Stay with us. 92.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease.
Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. You can't go wrong with one of their great bagel sandwiches or breakfast burritos. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln or their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe. Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine bar. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine & Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hey farmers, join Boyk Farm Outfitters at Precision Planning's Winter Conference, happening January 22nd and 23rd at Innovation Campus in Lincoln. At Winter Conference, they'll cover topics like fertilizer inputs, weed management, spraying technologies, and priorities of the planter pass, to name a few. It's your chance to see new research that'll put you and your farm ahead of the curve, and it's free to attend. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this event's for you. Visit BoykFarmOutfitters.com for all the details and to reserve your spot today.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call
John Henry's
to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
And electrical.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and so much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith. Innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. We had planned on talking Farrell's the first segment, but
no, we didn't.
It was hijacked by Nicole making fun of me for 20 minutes.
Plan on it. You did, but I didn't.
Oh, okay.
We needed that information.
We did.
That is incredible.
It was very breaking
story.
News.
It's good to laugh on a Sunday, right? I mean, what a great way to start your Sunday morning. Laughing and making fun of me, which is kind of what the show's been for 3 years.
You love it.
But I'm an easy target.
You are.
Yeah. All right.
You're a good sport.
Make yourself available for it.
All right. Well, if you're watching, listening, we are joined by my sister, Andrea, all the way from Broken Bow, Oklahoma, right?
No, Tulsa. I'm in Tulsa now. It was Broken Arrow. You were so close.
It's the same area.
It's the same. Yeah.
Okay. So in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was going to say Tulsa, but then I thought, no, I thought they live in Broken Bow. But then
we lived in Broken Arrow. We moved back to Tulsa. It's the same thing. It's just,
Broken Bow. That's Broken Bow, Nebraska.
Yes, which I just saw in a TV show the other day. There's also Broken Bow, Oklahoma, but I've never lived there.
Well, so I have a question for you. This is where we're going to start because
we need some inside information. We need some facts.
Okay.
I was talking to Nicole today about the not famous, but infamous day in band class in the spring of 1995. We were watching the movie.
Was it a Tuesday? Do you remember which day it was? I'm sure.
No, I don't remember what day it was.
Okay.
We could probably find out. No, I guess we couldn't find out. Unless there was a sports event tied to it that you remembered.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
I as I was talking to her about this morning, I thought, I think Andrea was actually in that class with me because this wasn't marching band. you played the French horn. And I told Nicole, I said, she had to have been in that class when her classmates.
You did say Andrea, which also makes this more funny because Andrea was a year younger.
Right. It was your senior year, right?
Yeah.
In Jeff's memory, it was actually Andrea's class that were the biggest bullies to him.
They were
not
so
his
mean.
own class. So it was the class below him. So he's a junior, and the sophomores are the one giving him a hard time, which makes it. I forgot that part.
I could start listing off names, but I don't want to be like, I can't remember what movie that was where the guy was. He had his name of like high
Happy
school.
Yes.
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to start throwing names out there.
Maybe you should,
because now that Andrea's on the show, maybe some of these people are listening because she's friends with some of these people
She was
on
the
Facebook.
valedictorian, right? Of her. You were the valedictorian, right?
No, I was senior class president.
Okay,
Oh,
there we
yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was big time, where I was not.
Yeah.
Big time. She was running for presidency despite having an older brother that was, people made fun of.
There was probably some fine print like views expressed by Jeff Essing do not reflect my views. Anyway.
So what's the?
Oh.
Yeah, she doesn't know the story.
I want to know
I know the story.
Okay.
What's the? You just need my.
Were you participating in the chanting?
Yeah. Were you saying Essing when they were saying Rudy? Rudy. That's what I want to know.
So, okay. First of all, I'll need the list. You can text me the list of names. Because when I think back to those days, the people that were awful to you, I can't think of any of them being band people. It's one of those things because it was so long ago. Like, I know it happened. I know I was there. But I don't know if my memory is real or if it's just from us talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say and think it's true that I did not participate. And
was that you today, Andrea? Would not, but
I've always been the peacemaker. I think for real, I think I did not. And I think I felt horrible, but also it's hilarious. And I think I remember not wanting to laugh. And
honestly, I can see that more than anything. Like I can literally see your face trying to not laugh. But you're not one to stand up and be like, knock it off.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I don't know. None of my band friends, I think, were mean people. So maybe it was people in my class, but I'm not responsible for them.
No, you're not. It's just another layer of the story.
Yeah.
Underclassmen that were really your biggest.
I always like to say, like, people think they get bullied today. I got bullied.
Yeah, but you also say you contributed to it too.
Well, I did.
Right, Andrea? Like, was he obnoxious also?
Andrea? I mean, I guess he could have been, but he was a teenage boy.
And you were used to it. You lived with him.
What teenage boy is not? I will say, well, we just had completely different groups of friends, I guess, except for your friends that would come over to the house and then hang out with me instead of you.
Using me, basically.
But I do remember, I want to say this. I do remember in high school making the distinguishing the difference, making sure people knew you were my stepbrother. My stepbrother. That was important, I guess, for me to differentiate. But not now, right? You're just my brother. I say my brother, and people are like, wait, I didn't know you had a brother. No, I do.
just propelling her to the presidency of her senior year. So you had to make that distinction.
I wasn't even like I was senior class president, not like the whole student body president. I had no responsibilities.
Yeah, but you spoke at the graduation.
That was separate. That's because I elected to do that. I auditioned. And it was funny. I was thinking about that the other night because I got in trouble from the teacher, Miss Bishop. Jeff, did you ever?
Oh, yeah. Speech teacher. Yeah, well, I know who that is.
Because I didn't prepare my speech in time and I got sent to the principal's office because of it. And I was like, oh, now only if I knew. Listen, dude, ADHD, of course I'm not going to do it 3 weeks early.
Right. You were in training.
Right.
Isn't it crazy to think that when we went to Waukee, there was 90 kids in our graduating class and I was 96, you were 97. And now Waukee's like literally one of the biggest high schools in I mean, it is the biggest high school in the state of Iowa,
Yeah.
and like one of the fastest growing schools in the nation.
Yeah. My class actually had 69. I was one of yours was bigger, and then the one underneath was a lot bigger. But when I was just back there in October, I was driving through. I didn't even know where I was. Like, it wasn't like, oh, that's different. I didn't know where I was. I was like Highway 6 is no longer like Highway 6.
Oh yeah.
I get lost too. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I exit? Because there used to be one exit to get to Waukee, and then now there's like multiple. So I exit the one before Rube's Steakhouse. I always do one exit. And I'm driving around. I'm like, how did I get on this side of town? Like, it was just, it's so bizarre how big it is. And it's crazy to see like just kids that are, play in the NFL that went to Waukee. And like back when we were there, like if a kid made it to a college, like a Division I college program, it was like the biggest news there was.
That's still true in Iowa.
Not anymore.
Well,
Waukee's just crazy.
If any Iowan does anything remotely famous adjacent, it's going to make the news.
Yeah.
So
we had that scandal when we were in high school, Jeff, of that player that went to the neighboring town.
Oh, I know. I'll tell you what, I was just talking to people about this because his son, and we won't bring up the scandal, but his son was the senior and was thinking about committing to Nebraska, but is going to Florida State instead. Yes.
Okay.
So I had some inside information on that.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, back to
okay. So before we
at hand.
Yeah. Okay. So something I've talked about on the show in the past is growing up. And
well, should we introduce Andrea?
I already have.
You just said she was your sister. She has an entire
what
professional
else is there
career
to know
besides being your sister.
I mean, it's not good enough.
We can get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into
Okay. All right. We'll talk about it then. We have to talk about the Packers in the next
We
segment.
will.
Okay.
We got a few minutes.
All right.
Okay. So I want to know like your memories growing up in our house, because I talk about, that could go on for a year straight.
That's a whole other.
Yeah, let's narrow that down.
We're narrowing it down to exercise and nutrition, because my recollection is I to this day, I just cannot picture Wayne or Nancy, my dad, your mom, been married for a long time. I mean, pretty much since they got married when we were 4 and 5. So we've been brother and sister basically since we even know what's going on. But I can't even picture them working out at a gym, right?
Like any type of exercise clothing
or class. Do you have any recollection? I know that we had joined Seven Flags.
Yes.
But can you imagine one of them? Like, I just don't remember having
up a tennis shoe.
No, there was no activity, let alone, intentional
on purpose
exercise. Yeah.
I also think that was the time too. I don't think it was as popular because exercise wasn't as mainstream as it is now.
Yeah. I was thinking about that with my mom. When she got sick, how weak she was, but I was thinking like no older ladies lifted weights back then. It was not a thing. I mean, if you went to the gym, sure, there were ones, whatever, but like overall, that was not a thing. Like Nikki said, there was no focus on it. And I can't even imagine it. And I remember the Seven Flags that came to me when I was thinking about last night. I went and they just kind of I don't know, Jeff, you probably know how old we were, but too young to know what we were doing. And I just walked around, messed with some of the machines. Didn't know what I was doing.
People do now.
Yeah.
As adults.
True.
Yeah.
Walked on the treadmill,
Yep.
did the elliptical for a few minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about nutrition?
So I thought about this a lot with, especially, with therapy clients, because we talk a lot about how the messages we receive when we're young and how they get wired in our brain. And on top of what I experienced growing up in our house, but also just society and culture. The 90s, that was when fat-free started, was really big. I remember we'd have the fat-free cookies, but then also the Oreo. Well, not even Oreos, Jeff. What were the
no bake
or whatever?
Yeah.
No bake cookies?
No,
those two, but
generic.
Orcos or
Hydrox.
Or
She said
And there was no like.
Well,
it's
you had
funny.
to buy the knockoff Oreos if you were spending $4 on Snackwell cookies, the fat-free ones.
But we like you. I mean, you didn't really eat vegetables, but like I would say, oh yeah, we always had vegetables and we had whatever. But it was canned vegetables with like half a cup of butter on them. But also, I don't know if you remember this, Jeff. I always think about this. Do you remember when your dad did the 1-day diet? Do you remember that?
No.
It was some gimmick. It was called the 1-day diet. And what it was on one day, he didn't eat. And there was some pill that he took. It was probably I don't know what it was. He took pills.
Probably
during the day.
cocaine or heroin, some type of drug.
And then the next day, he could eat whatever he wanted. And it was every other day. And it was called the 1-day diet. And I think it worked for him. He probably lost some weight.
Yeah.
But anyway, just like, so that's the only like really dieting I remember. I kind of joke that my mom did intermittent fasting before it was a thing because,
coffee first thing,
and cigarettes, that was her appetite suppressant. She wouldn't eat until the afternoon.
That's true.
So no, we didn't have any kind of, not only good examples or modeling, but then, then we're out in adulthood and you don't know what to do because you don't want to do what you always knew.
Well, I will. So credit to us growing up is we were a family that always ate at the kitchen table. Like Nancy would come, we'd always have meat, some potato, and a vegetable. Like, so that's something I remember because we never eat at the kitchen table. Like, I mean, hardly ever. But that was something that, looking back, I thought, it was kind of nice until the words "we're having a family meeting" broke out.
At the kitchen table.
At the kitchen table after dinner. Yes.
That's not good for rest and digest.
No.
Right.
Post meal.
Had the old notebook out. Like here we got all these lists of subjects.
That's for another show.
Then it more turned into blood sport at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, we're gonna go to break. So stay with us. We're gonna talk about Andrea's favorite NFL team and more stuff I had to deal with growing up. So stay with us on 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Abby with Midwest Bank. Stop by our new location at 70th and Pioneers. Our new full-service branch does it all. From our friendly staff to our easy online banking and mobile app, you get all the technology of a big bank that you need, but you still get the hometown customer service that you want. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Men's health is not a game at Limitless Male. It's serious medicine. We're not a West Coast franchise with a one-size-fits-all approach. Every man is different. Some men require more or less testosterone to feel their best. At Limitless Male, we safely monitor your labs and symptoms along the way and adjust your treatment as needed. The only thing cookie cutter about Limitless Male? The incredible results men brag about. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
The Body Lab, located at 14th and Yankee Hill, is Lincoln's premier physical therapy and recovery lab. The Body Lab offers trigger point dry needling, cupping therapy, joint manipulation, and so much more. Looking to relax and relieve stress after a long day or difficult workout? The Body Lab's recovery lab is the ideal spot. Featuring infrared sauna, a cold plunge tub, or if you're just looking for enough space to stretch out and reset your mind. Learn more about memberships and schedule your service today at thebodylablnk.com or visit the Body Lab in person at 14th and Yankee Hill Road.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and we wanted to give a special shout out to all of our great customers, thanking you all for a record-setting year in 2024. Now let's get the new year rolling with some big savings. Right now at Cobble, we have some of the biggest discounts in the area with over $12,000 off list price or 0% APR on select new models. So stop on in the dealership or hit us up online at cobblecars.com to get true low country overhead in action. $12,000 off list or 0% APR right now at Cobble. So please stop on in or visit us at cobblecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most. For all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Make the 2025 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 17th through Sunday, January 19th. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the 360 blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, try the 3D shoot and more. Get tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 17th through the 19th at the Sand Hills Global Event Center. 84th and Havelock in Lincoln, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. As always, our segment of the show with our guests is we like to talk a little NFL. Now, I know what a fan Andrea is, and I have something for her to listen to before we get into this. So, Harrison.
Good snap. Good hold. The kick on the way by Santos, and it is good.
I don't even know what that is.
The Bears losing streak
from this
to an
meet. I
end
was thinking
on the final play of the regular season.
Isn't this wonderful?
As Chicago comes to Lambeau and upsets the Packers
Was it an upset?
24.
Yes, it was an upset.
Do we have the clips from all of the other games?
No,
Right. No.
no.
Okay.
Well, our producer Harrison is also a Bears fan, so I'm
Okay.
usually outnumbered.
And this is the first time that our show's been on 3 full football seasons that the Bears have won.
Okay.
I consider it a charitable donation. We just let them have it.
That is insane. I have yet to know you after the Bears have beat the Packers. This is the first
time ever.
That is shocking.
First time ever. And
I
we've
thought
had
it was going to
Packers
be
fans. Yeah.
Crosby missing a bunch of kicks when I heard that it was a kick.
Oh, Crosby.
Yeah.
So,
So
Andrew,
we don't even get most of the Packers games here, unless it's one of the big ones. And so Reagan always watches them on some stream, but simultaneously, the Cowboys on Sunday lost in the last couple seconds while the Packers were losing in the last couple seconds.
Yeah, within like a minute or 90 seconds worth.
But I was watching the Thunder, so.
Yeah, she's a big, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's tough. They just had a big one versus the Cavs. They dropped. Cavs #1 in the East this year. Thunder #1 in the West. And it was a good game. I think I think the Thunder get them again, though. And they get them at home this time.
We play them on Thursday at home.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. So, Jeff, you want to get back in the NBA? Thunder Cavs is where it's at. That's a good series.
Andrew's been trying.
She I probably haven't talked to her about the NBA in
since you guys
25 years.
Right.
And all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, she just sends me a text just out of the blue about Houston, Oklahoma City in the semifinals in Vegas. It's like, here it comes.
I was like, don't you want to go to Vegas? Because I always tell the story about how you loved Hakeem Olajuwon. And again, with the 90s, back in the 1900s, my mom had to drive all over Des Moines looking for something that, a jersey or a hat, because she couldn't just get online and find it. So
back in the old days.
You were the legit Rockets fan.
I was, and not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
So we like to do this because this is a really short segment. So in this segment, we like to find out what fan, your NFL team, which we know is the Packers, and how you became a fan of that team.
Yeah.
So what's your origin story as a fan?
My dad was a Packers fan, and I don't know how that originated. I don't know how he became one, except for we lived in Wisconsin, so maybe it was just when we moved up there. But that's when I was in elementary school.
It would be hard not to become a Packers fan living.
So, I was elementary school. I didn't care about sports, so it wasn't until later. And I was thinking about this too. I don't know if I was trying to connect with my dad or what, but it was high school. I don't know. Maybe I was just trying to compete with Jeff because
they were
the Bears. I had to like Packers.
They were good conveniently during that time also.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
That's when I became a Packers fan. So I'm not no judgment.
So then high school was when I really got into it. And I watched every game. I love this story real quick. When I came down here and went to college, I was talking to some guys at dinner one night, and I was talking about some game. I don't even remember the details, but they were telling me I was wrong about the players. And I was like, no, I know I'm right. And I said, they were even on the cover of the Sports Illustrated. And I said the month, and they're laughing at me. And because again, it was the 1900s, we walked to the library on campus and looked up the sport, found the sport, the actual paper, Sports Illustrated, of what I was talking about. And it was the greatest moment when I proved all of these guys wrong. I had no idea.
Back before you could just whip it up on your phone.
Right.
One of my favorite memories of Packers fan was when my friend Matt Phillips, he was a big 49ers fan, and Niners, Packers, Cowboys, those were the teams in that little 5-6 year era where they're always playing each other, which Andrea's husband Donnie's a Cowboys fan, right? Packers Cowboys got collision there, but when he came over to watch the Niners Packers, and it was one of those games where the Packers got up 21-0 in the first quarter, and he went into the other room and was just laying face down on the couch. Remember that?
Yeah, I think he just got up and left at some point too. We're where'd Matt go? He's gone. Yeah.
Oh, those fun times.
All the fun of being a football fan.
And now we're bringing this, because your boys, one's a Cowboys fans, one's a Packer fan. I'm a Bears fan. Ben's a Ravens fans, and those, so we all text each other, and it's a lot of fun. And we're hoping to get to Green Bay, Baltimore next year at Lambeau Field is a game we want to go to. So I know now, Andrea, we're getting old that now kids are going to be in college. So I'm thinking about this, and I was like, well, where's Reagan going to be? I mean, you might not even be in a place where he can go to this game. And I'm telling Ben too, I'm like, you're going to be in Nebraska. I mean, can you just take off days of college? Like, I don't know, to go some places. So
yeah, when you text about that, that's what I thought. Like, well, I guess we'll see where they're at, and if we can get them there, we all have to fly from different places.
No, and you when you keep referencing the 1900s, it makes me feel so old right now.
Right.
I do that because that's what our kids say, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yes. You are
1900s, Mom.
The 1900s. I think in 1900s like 1920.
Right.
That's the joke.
But
that's why it's funny.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, we're going to take a break. We're actually going to get into some serious conversation.
Yes.
With my sister, because she is a therapist, which I mean, we could just do a whole show on me going through therapy, because something I really need. But so we're going to talk a lot about that and how, you know, kind of what she does and with food and nutrition and stuff. So we're really excited to talk to her about that. So something that's going to be very beneficial for all of our listeners. So stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics will be back here in just a few minutes.
Hey everyone, Lance here with Black Label. We specialize in creating custom crafted decks, pergolas, patio covers, and more. Plus, our retractable screens, gazebos, and patio enclosures create the ultimate outdoor retreat. With over 50 years of combined experience, we're not just builders, we're creators of unforgettable memories.
Call them today at 402-730-6333 or visit blacklabelbuilt.com for a free consultation.
Let's turn your backyard dreams into reality.
Black Label Built, built to serve, built to last.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com. Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Psst. You know what's better than waking up early to go to the airport? Sleeping in. Lucky for you, the lines at the Lincoln Airport are so short and our service is so fast. You won't need to sacrifice precious beauty sleep to get here hours before your flight. So, go ahead. Sleep in. You deserve it. And choose the airport that helps you relax. LNK. Make flying easy.
Ever wonder what it's like to work for a company that actually cares? At Lincoln Industries, they're revolutionizing local manufacturing while taking care of their most valuable asset, their people. When you join their team, you'll enjoy comprehensive health coverage, wellness initiatives that work around your life, and benefits that show they're serious about your future. Plus, you'll be a part of a proud manufacturing tradition right here in the community. Don't just take their word for it. Visit LincolnIndustries.com to see all their current opportunities and find out why their people love calling Lincoln Industries home.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Early break.
And I would race to something warm, like just a burger or something that would warm my food.
A burger.
Hold it, I'm having a brain freeze. Someone give me a cheeseburger.
Well, you're a Dairy Queen.
Give me a cheeseburger. Burger me.
The Slurpees I got were red raspberry from Dairy Queen, and usually you can get something warm there. Fries, just give me your fries, quick.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln. 93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome into Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now here are your hosts, Jeff and Nicole Essig.
All right, welcome back to the Fitness Fanatics. Man, we've had just a ball of laughs the first hour. So if you guys missed any part of the show, you can check us out on theticketfm.com, any of your favorite podcasting platforms. All the shows are out there. But yeah, if you want some laughs, mainly at my expense, they're there. Because I was laughing so hard, I've had some tears in my eyes. It was a lot of fun. And we could keep doing that for not just the next hour, but probably the next month. But I know Andrea goes to church, and we're getting her out of church today, which, sometimes could be a blessing. But Donnie takes the kids to church to stay at home. So no, I'm just kidding. But hour number 2 is sponsored by Modern Woodmen of America. Founded in 1883, Modern Woodmen offers financial services and member benefits to individuals and families throughout the U.S. For more information, call Sean Erickson at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation today. Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures. So big shout out to Sean and the crew over there. We appreciate all their support of the Fitness Fanatics and everything they do for us. All right, so now I'm going to properly introduce Andrea, because she's more than just my sister.
Yes.
Andrea is a licensed clinical social worker and provides therapy in her private practice. She specializes in trauma, grief, anxiety, OCD, and ADHD. So what we want to focus on today, because Andrea, we talked about this a few months ago, and mainly focused on the ADHD and kind of what you have gone through personally over the last few years in your life. Not only discovering that you had ADHD, but also how it has affected you with nutrition and exercise and how you looked at food and all that. So it's just a very cool conversation I thought would be great to share with all of our listeners, because we have, millions of listeners.
Very
across the world.
relatable.
Yes.
I wanted to get a hat or a t-shirt that said for myself, undiagnosed, but we're pretty sure for myself. Which Andrea has messaged me before when I've shared something on Facebook or Instagram. Like, have you ever been tested for ADHD? Like, I don't think I need to be tested for it because I very much relate to everything that I see that talks about anything neurodivergent. So it's very relatable.
All right. So Andrea, the floor is yours. I'm ready to learn.
The floor is mine. Okay, so here's what I'm worried about. I could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, and literally do with my job. So I have I wrote stuff down of what I want to get to try to stick to. But first of all, with Nikki, it's Nicole. Sorry,
it's okay.
I'm gonna have to try to say Nicole.
I think people get it.
ADHD is so misunderstood in the last couple of years. Thanks to social media, we call it pop psychology. It's so good that there's so much awareness about different mental health stuff, but then also there's so much misinformation that can be really harmful. But everyone thinks, oh, ADHD, that's the 6-year-old boy that can't sit still in first grade, right? Girls didn't have ADHD, but because ADHD in females was not studied until, recently, of course, the 1900s to us is still recent. But anyway, it's so misunderstood. People think it's not a real thing, or we just medicate people because we, don't want to, work harder or whatever. So it's my journey has been, I guess, through grad school when I learned more about it. I was like, oh, okay, sounds like I have ADHD. That really fits, right? Because in women specifically, it can be hyperactivity, but lots of times the hyperactivity is internal because girls, we call it masking. Excuse me, girls learn, well, I can't get up and run around the classroom like the boys do. I have to sit still, I have to follow the rules. And so the hyperactivity becomes internal. If you guys could see me in my seat right now, how my feet are moving, how I'm fidgeting with things on the table. Anyway, in girls, it can look more it looks like laziness, disorganization, different things. So I thought, oh, that really sounds like me. And then I just didn't really understand how it really affected me. It was just something I lived with. And it wasn't until I got into private practice, my older boys started having all of their activities and everyone had to be in different places, that all of a sudden, I was drowning. And it was actually a friend I work with pulled me aside and she was like, hey, let's maybe talk about talking to your doctor about getting some medicine. I was like, oh no, is it that bad? Because I would show up to work, with everything. I had my laptop, but not my charger, I say I was a mess. So a lot of it was, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And that's the big thing why it's so important for me, with anyone in my life, with my clients, with me, to recognize it's my brain. There's nothing wrong with me. It's my brain. To kind of unhook from that shame of why can't I do all these things that everyone else can do? So
I do have a question really quick, which if you've kind of answered it as you were talking, because I feel like for me, those issues have been much more prevalent, just probably within the last 5 or 6 years for myself. But then you say things like disorganization. And I remember a time in 3rd grade that my teacher had to call my mom in to come and clean out my desk because it was so bad and so disorganized. So now I'm thinking maybe that was always the case. Is it common for women to not recognize the symptoms until they get older? I know I had a lot of kind of childhood trauma, so probably it wasn't high on my list of priorities. But is that common for women? Is that something, I mean, probably men too, but is that more common for women, or is it more common for it to start when you're older? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, if you have ADHD, you've always had it because it's the neurodevelopment of your brain, which is part of the diagnosis. You have to go back to childhood. But absolutely, so many women are undiagnosed or diagnosed with anxiety and depression when really it's ADHD, because, when you have 10,000 things that you're always behind on, causes anxiety, or, you feel really depressed because what is wrong with me? And a big thing with girls and women, like I mentioned, the masking, we learn to present on the outside like we're okay. And I've had a lot of people be like, well, you went to college, you went to grad school, like how could you have ADHD? Well, I did all those things and it was really, really hard. You can still be successful, but there's people with typical brains that probably had an easier time than I did because the same thing, I may have gotten good grades, but I never knew where my textbooks were or what homework was due, because I had no organization around it. And organization, when we talk about it, is not just like how your pantry looks. It's how you organize your life, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, that's been a big thing with me. And I've had tons of clients, and I don't therapy, like if diet, nutrition, that stuff comes in, I make it very clear, like I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not here to talk about, we don't talk about diet. But when they're like, why can't I be consistent? Why can't I do this? All of the things. And, there's so many times have you ever thought you have ADHD? Has anyone ever said that? And sometimes it's, oh yeah, but, or, well, no, like, why would I have ADHD? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Just saying if you have it, you've always had it. Yes. Kind of like,
well, and
okay.
when you say like your clients say, well, why would I have it? Right. Because and we, on this show, we don't say average Joe, we say average Jeff, right? Because the average Jeff, which is me, like what you talked about at the beginning is like, oh, this is something that kids go through, right? That my kid has this, my kid has that.
Well, we think that because when it became more mainstream, that's kind of the age we were. So it was like other kids in our class that were getting diagnosed with it, or maybe our siblings that were getting diagnosed with it. Like, so I think that's part of it too. When it became mainstream.
Yeah, and people think you can grow out of it. Like I've had clients say, oh yeah, I had it when I was a kid and my parents made me take medicine, but I grew out of it. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't. And that's what, without like, trying to stay, whatever. It's a neurological issue. It's not a behavioral issue. Our behavior exists for neurological reasons. It's a medical issue. It's not a personality trait. People, oh, I'm so ADHD. Well, you're not, unless your brain has the disorder. Neurodevelopment disorder, meaning the nervous system. I heard you say rest and digest, Nicole, earlier. So I know you guys know a little bit about all that, but our nervous system, including our brain, develops and functions differently. And the differences in the brain development structure cause differences in behavior, which is why strategies for neurotypical people don't work and aren't successful for ADHDers. And that's where, like, I knew that, I learned that, but like actually understanding it and how does that apply to me? What are my behaviors that I've tried to change or do, and I just can't. And I compare it a lot to other disorders or disabilities that people have. And, we say neurological issue. And so someone might think like Parkinson's. Well, someone with Parkinson's that's like shaking or, having tremors. No one's like, hey, just try harder not to do that. Like just try to be still. No one would say that, right? Because they know it's a neurological disorder. So it's the same as ADHD, except for it's invisible. It's an unseen disability. And that was really hard for me. You don't have to say you have a disability if you have ADHD, but that's where I was really able to accept and change things. It was actually my therapist that said to me, she was like, if you didn't have an arm, would you expect to be able to do things like other people that have two arms? Of course not. And that's what I was doing to myself. Well, I should be able to just get up early. I should be able to just do this, but I don't have an arm. And so I have to, it doesn't mean I can't do all the things I want to do. Just like someone with Parkinson's, it doesn't mean, oh, well, now your life's over. You can do treatment, you know, therapy, medicine. You just have to accommodate and find things that work for your brain, which is, you know, what you and I, Jeff, were talking about that has kind of made a big difference with me, with specifically with diet and nutrition.
Yeah, so that's kind of my next question. So how long after you had gotten your diagnosis did you make that connection to because like you said, there's so many other things about ADHD that is like obvious when you really think about it, like the disorganization and stuff like that. Like mine is I have just the shortest attention span, and it only gets worse as I'm getting older. And
yes.
And so like that there's different, like a hierarchy of things that you want to, you know, tackle.
Sure. Yeah.
So how long was it after your diagnosis that you were able to really make that connection where how ADHD was kind of, you know, keeping you from those health and fitness goals that you had or health and nutrition goals?
It was definitely one of the later things. Like I started to realize really how much it was impacting work and just managing the household. I do want to touch on real quick, this is probably a whole other, you know, hour that we don't have time for, but Nicole, when you were saying that it's gotten worse, there's a whole thing with perimenopause, women in their 40s. Neurotypicals in perimenopause can start presenting like they have, you know, some ADHD symptoms, you know, irritability, memory loss, fatigue. So the super fun thing about when you do have ADHD is it's just so exasperated by everything that's happening in our bodies. And that's, you know, throughout a woman's life, through cycle, pregnancy. I always joked like I had pregnancy brain for 10 years after my babies. Well, now I know it was my ADHD. It's like having pregnancy brain my whole life. So I had, with the diet and nutrition, I had a moment, and it's so hard because, you know, I'm a therapist. I didn't specialize in ADHD until I started digging into like, oh, this is my entire life. It affects me daily, moment to moment, you know. And I would say that journey has been about 5 years, and there's still times where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's why I do that, or that's why that's hard. But I had a moment in my kitchen, and it was at night, and I was, I don't know, taking my nighttime vitamin or something, and we had the bowl of candy, and it was Easter time, and I like reached for a Reese's cup, and I started opening it, and I was like, wait, I don't even want this. Like, I'm not hungry. I wasn't even thinking about this. And then I realized it was just the impulsivity of, oh, there's candy, I'm going to eat it without thinking. Or maybe, you know, just I needed that hit of dopamine. And so that was a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have like a food problem. I don't have like, I'm not addicted to food. I don't, you know, it's my brain. And that's where it got into all the different areas of, I mean, I have 100 examples that we can get into later, but I always say like packing my lunch for work. I prefer to do that. I don't want to have to go run and grab something or starve all day because I, you know, don't have my lunch. But to pack a lunch, that means I have to have gone shopping, so I have food. I have to make the food. I have to pack the food. I have to remember to take it with me to work. You know, the number of times I did all the things, but then left it on the kitchen counter and got to work and went, crap, I don't have my lunch, you know? So that is kind of the start of where I started really digging into, and I can get more into, you know, I've mentioned like dopamine and, you know, different things, but maybe break down a little bit about what actually is ADHD besides just that it's neurological, so we can understand like how it shows up.
Yeah, let's get into that. We do need to take a break.
Yeah, hold on before we go to break, because one thing that I want to like is if it fits in, because we've had just talking, obviously we've talked to so many people that have had weight loss transformations, and 2 of our national challenge participants who are in a year-long challenge. Mark Onweiler was one of ours here in Lincoln that won $10,000. He talked about how about binge eating, and so did we had another guest, Tiffany, that she talked about this too, and how she would go off on the way home from work. She would stop like at a fast food place. She would eat an entire meal, but then go home and pretend like she hadn't just eaten a meal. Mark would say the same thing. He would stop at Little Caesars and get a pizza, and he would eat the whole pizza, throw it away, and then still go home and have a meal because he didn't want his family to know about it. So if there's a way and I think that's very common.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
if there's a way that we can kind of talk about that and tie that in too, because I just think that's so common. I thought that was interesting that we've had 2 national challenge people talk about it. So yeah, we'll go to break.
Yep, we'll go to break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. 92.7 The Ticket, Fitness Fanatics.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Big brothers, big sisters, it takes 30 minutes and a cup of coffee. A video game, best 2 out of 3. It takes sharing thumbs up emojis, clapping emojis, and loaded nachos at halftime. That's how you make an impact on a young kid's life. So go on, share a few hours a month, because mentorship may sound huge, but the truth is, it takes little to be big.
To learn more, volunteer, or donate, go to bbbslincoln.org.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and is currently searching for journeyman plumbers to join their team. Experience is preferred, but not required for all applicants. When you join the team at Davis Plumbing, you'll receive full benefits package with paid time off. Join a small local business doing big things in Lincoln and surrounding areas. Apply today by calling 402-525-6922 or find them on social media. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Aloe Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit aloefiber.com to switch today.
Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, invites you to their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney on February 5th and 6th. This hands-on event offers expert training on John Deere and Hagie sprayers, covering topics such as machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and exact apply technology. New this year, classes on autonomy preparation, see and spray, and variable rate operation. Don't miss this opportunity, February 5th and 6th in Kearney. Learn more at landmarkimp.com/events.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. We're going to keep this awesome conversation going with my sister from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Before we do, because we did have I wanted to shout out Bill and Bennett because I was literally just on Facebook and I have a little factoid that today will mark the 37th season that the Packers play in the postseason, and that is the most by any. Oh, Harrison muted me.
Good.
I was like, what?
You need.
Although
muted.
Although I don't like those statistics because the Packers have also been around the longest, so I don't really like those statistics.
It's like the Bears and all their championships.
Yeah.
All right, back on track. But I just wanted to.
Well, no,
it
really?
literally just came up on my Facebook feed, so it's kind of funny. But back on track.
All right, let's get to the main issues.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and keep that conversation going. Back to Nicole. What you were wanting to tie a couple things together about
just
the binge eating?
Yeah, that? I mean, it's so common. So just like. Yes. I'm sure that that's something that's relatable. And I think for most people, okay, so I famously tell our members that they're not special all the time. But the context of that is like the things in your head that keep you from reaching your goals because you think you can't do something, that doesn't make you special. That makes you normal. And I think sometimes when you can normalize something, it makes it less scary. So that's why I say they're not special. It's not like me being mean. But so I think that that's just something that people need to hear, how it's common and how, like you said, with that Reese's peanut butter cup, that you're just like, this is my brain. It's not, so I think that just talking about it makes people, okay, I'm not special. Maybe this does make me normal. Maybe there are tools available to me.
For sure. So I'll get to the binge eating and like the fast food, because those are really good examples. Try to summarize as quickly as I can what ADHD actually is in our brain. Another quick analogy that I got from a book one time and really love is like that our brains have an error code. We have appliances, all the things that get error codes. If we try to print something, it's not printing. We could try again, or we could, try harder, bang on it, whatever. But if it shows an error code, we're going to look it up. Oh, the error code is out of paper. okay, I'm going to put in paper and then it's going to print, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter, it works better than if you're just trying, let's try it again. So when you know the error code in our brains, we know then what to do with it instead of, all of the other things we've learned or whatever. Okay, so as quickly as I can, the disorder is in our frontal lobe, the front of our brain, which is where we have emotional regulation, decision making, logic, reasoning, all of the things that we need to exist every day. And it's the part of our brain that doesn't develop until like early to mid 20s. Earlier for women, a little later. So
it's your fault, Jeff, that my brain is the way it is.
Yep,
You were my biggest influence in my early 20s.
Yep. That's true. That's
well, okay,
100%.
so that's another, I feel like I could just be on every week with you guys because that's another thing, all of the messages, that we get. But it's what a teenage, it's not developed. So when we say to our teenagers, like, what were you thinking? What, I don't know. It wasn't because their brain's not fully developed.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're kids, but it's as if we're living with an underdeveloped brain. Some people call it a lazy frontal lobe. So there's that. And then we have the dopamine issue. Dopamine is like the reward chemical, right? I know if I go take a walk, I'm going to get that dopamine and it's going to feel good. And that's going to be my reward. I know if I, pay my bills, it's going to be done and that's going to feel good. So
it's like a survival instinct. We kind of need it to survive. Otherwise we wouldn't do the stuff we need to do. Right.
Yes. And so, ADHD brain can produce less dopamine, but also a lot of people think the dopamine's there. It just ironically kind of gets lost. It doesn't get transmitted. So that's where it becomes like a motivational issue, right? I know you guys probably talk a lot about motivation, how it's kind of a crock, like you just got to do it.
Yeah.
So it's ADHD causes a motivation deficit. We cognitively know the things are good, but we don't have that chemical transmitting to our brain to tell us if you do it, it'll be good. And then, so a big thing is executive functioning skills. We all, like, these are things that I think should be just normal conversation for people, but people don't know unless they, have been diagnosed or whatever. We all have executive functioning skills, which are skills we learn to execute functions, basically. And they're accountability, time management, emotional regulation, organization, prioritizing is one. My brain doesn't know how to prioritize. Here's 1,000 things I want to do, and my brain doesn't know to be like, well, this is what is urgent right now. Everything feels urgent. So that's a problem.
Like when you're supposed to be doing a simple task, like doing the dishes, and then I end up like having pulled out the oven and I'm cleaning back in the oven, which is not helping any.
Yes. And so on that, it's attention deficit, which is a bad name because it's not that we can't pay attention. We don't have focus. It's we don't have control on where our focus goes. Donnie all the time is like, go back to what you were saying. I'm like, I can't because now I'm over here, So all of that causes inconsistency. When you struggle with regulating and attention, everything's inconsistent. And what do you guys know and probably say all the time about nutrition and fitness? It's consistency. It's not perfection. It's not, right? It's just consistency. Well, when my brain is inconsistent all the time, it makes it really hard. And then another big thing is we have an interest-based nervous system instead of important-based. We do what is interesting, engaging, stimulating versus what we know is important. And that's where some of the shame and criticism comes in because people are like, well, just pay attention or just want to do it, right?
Just get up. Well, wake up and go to the gym.
Right.
It's done.
So, okay, that was my quick rundown. So then I have all of the examples of things that I've noticed, oh, this is why I do that. And one of them, you mentioned fast food, like drive-thrus. So if you are thinking like, if I'm on the way home and I don't have dinner planned because I didn't think about it or I forgot to take something out of the freezer, if I stop at a drive-thru, it's instant, right? There's the dopamine. I don't have, I get that. That's the reward. Oh, now I have my food right away. And I don't have to do all of the work of going home, figuring something out, what can I defrost real quick? It's too many steps. And so fast food, and we say it's convenience, right? but I'm not just lazy and I don't want to go home and make dinner. It's just, it feels overwhelming and I can get a quick hit of the dopamine in the drive-through. And so I would do that too. Like, you know, why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? I don't even really like this food, you know? But that's all of the reasons. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's like us right now, because we're doing Whole30 and I'm so mad about it because it's very beneficial and I feel great and I know how to cook, but I have to cook everything. And so it's like the thought of doing it really makes me mad. But then when we're eating it and it tastes good and it's like, I know how to cook. This is good food. It's stupid that I'm mad about it. Although I wasn't today because I'm going to have cheese on my eggs. But so yeah, we're going through that right now. Exactly. And it's forcing us to do it, which is why we like to do Whole30. Why can't we do it outside that 30 days?
And speaking of that, like nobody really knows how our brains work, but like for me, doing Whole30, like we've had these Reese's peanut butter cups on our counter this whole time.
Trader Joe's peanut butter cups.
So pre Whole30,
they'd be gone.
They literally they would be gone. Like I'd eat 2, 3, 4, but now it's like, now that I'm doing this, I literally don't even think about opening them, taking the wrapper off, eating. I don't even think about it. It's like it's not even an option for me. That's always been strange how my brain is working when it's like
that does not make you special.
It's not an option,
right?
So my brain is like, nope. Like for example,
you don't
today
even see it anymore.
We would be just after the show, we'd be like, all right, should we get Casey's pizza? It's not even an option now. We're just gonna go home and cook our lunch because we can't have Casey's pizza right now because we're doing the Whole30. So the Whole30 for me is also trying to just reset my brain to be like, Jeff, you don't.
But that doesn't work. Like, why doesn't that work in the long run then, Andrea?
Well, so that's what I mean, there's all kinds of things, but with an ADHD brain, it's the inconsistency and the novelty of it. Like I'll go, you know, I'll be super consistent with my walks, with my strength training, you know, packing lunches, planning dinners for like 3 weeks. I'm nailing it. And then one day I don't. And then I'm like, okay, 2 weeks go by and I haven't done anything. And that's where it sucks. It sucks that I do that. But understanding all of the reasons why my brain is doing that and just accepting it instead of, you know, what's wrong with me, just all of that shame. But there's a lot there, Jeff, with like when our brain gets used to it, it's habits. And then when you're, you know, there's other food and nutrition, then you don't really think about those things. There's the accountability of it. You guys are doing it together. If it was just you and Nicole's eating the pizza, you might grab for, you know, well, I'm having that peanut butter cup then.
Jeff did Whole30 once, and Katie and I had cheese sticks outside of the house, and he threw a fit when we got home and he knew that we had Applebee's mozzarella sticks outside of his presence.
Not even a fries. So, yeah.
So, I mean, gosh, again, I could just forever talk about it. All of the work to do in it or that put into it can be overwhelming. And some people are like, well, it's just dinner. You just make it, right? Well, you don't struggle with that. Right. But I think of like, I historically have done the best with nutrition, fitness, all of the things when I wasn't working because I had more more time. Yes. But you guys, I'm sure you say like everybody has time.
Right.
But I had more emotional and mental energy to put into those things.
Yeah.
I go and sit with clients all day and I come home and sometimes like I'm done and it's physically too much for me to put effort into making a good dinner. So that's where if I planned ahead, great. And I can do that sometimes I can't. So with the binge eating, that's another thing where, excuse me, a lot of people think, well, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this? And of course that is, there's eating disorders, which eating disorders in people with ADHD are really, really high. For lots of reasons. We call it food noise, That's one of the things medicine has helped me. It doesn't like change my appetite really, excuse me, but the food noise can be gone. Where I'm not like thinking about food all day, and that can go to the hyper focus. But I have a very specific memory before I really, understood ADHD. I would always eat a bowl of cereal at night. It was just what I did.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I ate it, and then I went to go eat another one. And I was like, I don't want this. I don't want this. I'm not hungry. And as I'm pouring it, I was like, don't pour this. Don't pour this cereal. You don't want it. Like that part of my brain. But I poured it and I ate it. And I understand now, either I was hyper focused on it and your brain's like, no, you're going to eat that cereal. Or I just needed that stimulation, either the dopamine or the stimulation. And I've learned that, like at night, if we're sitting down and we start watching a show, I'm not hungry. Sometimes I am. And if I am, I go eat, right? I'm not hungry, but I'm like, what's in the pantry? What can I go snack on?
Yeah.
And another memory is goldfish. There was one time we were watching something and I could not stop thinking about the goldfish in the pantry. I don't even really like goldfish, but I got up and I got goldfish. And I know now it's because I needed the stimulation. I was trying to focus on the television, and even if it's engaging or whatever, I still have that hyperactivity. And so going and getting a crunchy snack is stimulating to me. And that's the fidgeting, neurodiversity, we call it stimming a lot, just a movement or a repetitive movement. So a crunchy snack was what I needed. And again, if I'm hungry, I'll go get it. But now if I know that, I can either try to change my focus on something else, or I eat pickles a lot. Jeff, I know you're big on that. I'll go get the crunch of a pickle. So that goes to that binge eating of all of that error code of why you keep getting the food. What is it that my brain is needing right now? We only know to replace it with food or feed it with food, So what is my brain actually needing that I can give it instead of, whatever I'm binging on?
Yeah. Well, let's take one more break.
Yep.
And then we can
That's our
talk a
last
little
break.
bit more about strategies too. And just, you're obviously, this is your job. So you're going to recommend that people actually seek help too. So we can kind of talk about that a little bit too. But yeah, let's go to break.
All right, one final break here. We'll be back to finish up this show. So stay with us. 93.7 The Ticket, the Fitness Fanatics.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
and electrical.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to hear their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and so much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
It's the new year, and it's time for a new John Deere. Acres has all new John Deere compact tractors, mowers, and Gator UTVs on sale with money-saving financing options. Whether it's recreation or landscaping, Acres has the John Deere for you. Visit your local Acres store for details. And don't forget, Acres has a full lineup of used equipment as well. Act now. These incentives expire January 31st, 2025. Financing program subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial. Some restrictions may apply.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100 and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Now back to Fitness Fanatics on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in here. Final segment, joined by my sis Andrea down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Gosh, we've been talking a lot of ADHD, and I'm learning a lot, and I love it. I just texted her off break, and I was like, "We could just have a monthly show.
I know,
like once a month. We just talk what's on our mind,
learn about your brain,
learn about our brain, because gosh, and there's probably thousands, millions of other things that are going on in her brain that we still don't know.
Yeah, we probably got some more Jeff Essink memories back in the day.
Gems that we could unearth.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we just have a couple minutes here left with you. So Nicole, what were you wanting?
Just strategies. Like, okay. So at what point do you think that people need to go beyond just finding strategies and actually seek help? Because I do know that it's also difficult to get a diagnosis for some people too. So what are some of those strategies in lieu of, or how to get that to find out if it's even something that that someone has?
That's a really long answer, so I'll try to be as quick as I can. It's
really short.
hard.
Yep.
Yeah, it's super frustrating for me because it is really hard, and there was a huge spike in diagnosis during COVID, and that's because people's lives got turned upside down, and they're like, "Oh, now how do I do this?" and realizing it. But because medication for it is there's non-stimulants, but a stimulant is a controlled drug, then that makes it really hard to get it for people that really need it. there's lots of things to do in lieu of medicine. But if people are listening and are like, wait, this sounds like me. I always say, start with your PCP if you have primary doctor and just say, hey, I'm wondering about this. And some of them are equipped to assess. And, I know some PCPs will just, if someone wants to try medicine, we'll do that. Otherwise, in lots of places, like I know in Tulsa, you have to see a psychologist first to get a diagnosis.
Mhm.
Like my license allows me to diagnose. Yeah. I'm allowed by my license to diagnose, but a psychiatrist won't take that because and I talked to my psychiatrist about it, and she said, you would not believe the number of people I get every day calling and wanting to be seen. And so I hate it because it's gatekeeping, and someone with ADHD, it's so many more steps and wait lists and finances,
Yeah.
So you might have to see a psychologist to then get to a psychiatrist. Some psychiatrists might take you without a diagnosis. So it can be a lot, and it's really frustrating. I would ask, I would be curious because coffee is a stimulant, and caffeine, if you give a kid with ADHD caffeine, it calms them down. And so, paying attention to how like caffeine affects you, if it makes you focus, if it calms you down, versus like, getting you wired, that would give you a good idea of how maybe a stimulant would help you.
Mhm.
But hours and hours of like, I call them tips and tricks of things that you can do to accommodate your brain to real solutions for your specific struggles. And Nicole, you say, you're not special, but realizing, what is special, what is my struggle, it's what works for other people isn't going to work for me. So
surely it works for someone somewhere. So like that, it shouldn't be something that you're like, well, this is just how I am. If it's important to you, you should still be able to seek that at some point. Like,
yes.
Somebody has dealt with it, surely.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're just talking about diet and nutrition, the way that it, affects my entire life is kind of overwhelming at times.
What are some like resources that you use? Like you had mentioned a book. Like, are there certain authors or books or content creators or?
Yeah, there's a few. The one that I love is called How to ADHD. And it's Jessica McCabe, McCabe. And so it's good because it's written for, the typical person to understand. There's a lot of like anecdote kind of things it's not real scientific. But she also has a website, How to ADHD, with a ton of resources on it. So that's a good starting place. And then there's another one that I really like called Your Brain's Not Broken. Because I would always say that my brain is broken. What is wrong with my brain? And it just really explains what's going on in your brain and what to do with it. And then real quick, I have this one right here. I found an ADHD planner because that's a big thing. The number of planners that I bought and never used. There's one, it's an Instagram page, Future ADHD, I think. But it's ADHD focused. You can see it right here. And it's Grace Kolma, Koelma. So she has a planner and then this workbook that is written for ADHD people. For example, her pages are undated. She's like, so you don't need the reminder that you put it down and didn't touch it for 2 weeks. Just pick it back up, And even in the book, she says, you might read this all in a day, or you might read the first chapter and then, forget about it for a month. And so it's really validating, normalizing, unhooking that shame of all the things we should be able to do, like keep a planner.
Yeah. And I think those are good resources for people if you think it might help, but you don't have that access yet.
Right.
That's a good place to start. You can at least get an understanding. But
yeah.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And hopefully some people were like, wow, maybe I'm not special. Maybe I'm normal. Maybe not the only one.
All right.
So,
well, thank you for
appreciate it.
taking your time.
Yeah.
It was good to see you on the stream, since I don't see you in person very much. So that was nice.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We'll be in touch.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.